What's up, racers? Welcome back to round 2 of season 2 of the Super Sunday Cup. We are driving the Dodge Viper SRT Group 3 car in round 2, and it is around Blue Moon Speedway. The two sprint races are around infield B and infield B reverse, and then obviously infield A is the feature race. So before we jump into actual racing footage of sprint race number 1, let's have a look at the leaderboard as we go into round number 2. Myself in first, 86 points. Stephen in second, Crizzy in third, Smirnoff in fourth, and Rob rounding out the top 5, setting up round 2 nicely to have a good battle near the top of the table. Here we go then, sprint race number 1. Here we go then, the first grid that you are seeing as the viewer. Stephen is on pole position, so he is going to get those 2 extra points, which is making it even closer at the top of the table. We are in 6th position, obviously a standing start grid as well. Failed to tell you about that in the introduction video. We got off to a good start. Using that traction control on 1, we do get a better start than Smirnoff going to the outside as we come into the first corner on this track. Can we hold it around the outside? Looks like Potsy is on the inside. Can we get around with no contact? Yes, we can. Sweeping around, and that's a good start. 6th place up to 4th place after turn number 1. Anyone would be happy with that as we settle into the slipstream of the CSX driver in front of us now. Really want to hunt down Stephen in first, as it is very close at the top of the table from round 1 results. This last corner is the most difficult corner on the track. As we look back, we do see a couple of cars running into the wall, which will damage their run around this sweeping left-hand corner and onto the start-finish straight. A real short track this, only 5 corners, but does make for a sprint race to be very exciting. Nothing happens until the end of lap 5. Coming through this sweeping corner here, Dylan Cliff in front just grazes the inside of the corner, and coming into the final sharp corner here, he does it once again, and you can see how damaging touching the wall on this track really is as he starts to drop back now as I stay in that slipstream of the other CSX driver. 1 lap later then, 5 minutes on the clock, halfway through this first sprint race of round number 2. We're up the inside of Antomix, but he is going to go for that later apex and try and get that switchback on the exit of turn number 1. We managed to hold it off. Maybe there was a little bit of contact there. Who knows? Race stewards may have to have a look at it. We're up the inside of Stephen, making sure we give him enough space on the outside and not squeezing him into the wall. Coming 2 by 2, nearly another bit of contact as we come into the braking zone for this sharp left. We keep the inside and keep first place. Maybe a little bit of contact there on the exit of turn number 4, but everything is okay and all parties are accounted for as Antomix does move up the inside of Stephen there, moves into 2nd position as we cross the line to start lap number 8. I managed to hold first place as we come across onto lap number 9. The VLX driver there making his move, moving to the outside. Can he go all the way around the outside? Turn number 1. Manages to hold a little bit of a squirm there, but he does so very successfully and keeps that number 1 position. In that slipstream though, we do manage to catch him up on the back straight around that right kink and into the braking zone of turn number 4. We managed to get a nice run, just avoiding contact with the wall as well and keeping that first position. Coming on to lap number 10 then, we have 2 minutes 50 remaining in this 10-minute sprint race, and it is coming down to the wire as all 4 cars here are battling for this top spot on the outside of Stephen there, just braking a little bit earlier to get that nice cutback. This is the first incident of the race. Some reason the game sort of sticks Stephen to the wall there. I don't know if there was contact between me and him. If there was, it was very minute, but anyway, no harm done. All still battling for this top spot. 1 lap later then, turn number 1, we do get a nice run, speeding up again, coming into the final corner. Dylan Cliff just looking for that inside, not going to get it. Onto the final corner then, looking up the inside of Stephen in the toe of Antomix now. Is this going to be the final lap? No. Looks like we're going to get 2 more laps moving to the inside of Antomix as we come onto the penultimate lap of race number 1 of round 2, and we're going to go 3 wide into turn number 1, braking a little bit later than Steven. Steven still has that inside. There's going to be a slight bit of contact. Nothing doing those. We're going to continue to race. Antomix still on the inside. Can I come across him? Yes, I can. There's enough space now in the slipstream of Steven. So you see Dylan right behind the VLX driver as well. Will I go for the move? Looking to the inside. No, not this time. Just going to settle in for second. Going to try and get a nice run onto start, finish straight. Yes, coming around turn number 5 then. Nice and easy, carrying that good momentum from turn number 4. Steven then just dipping to the left, trying to break that slipstream, but we are heavily in it as we close the gap, cross the line onto the final lap of the race, trying to go around the outside, braking at the same time. He's holding that inside line, trying to go for that later apex so we get a smoother, faster run out of the corner. Doesn't work as well as I wanted it to though, but we are still in the slipstream, and you do see the VLX driver showing his face in the radar in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. We're going to go up the inside, try and go around the outside, which gives us the inside for this last corner here, but I'm on the brakes too early, which is not going to get us up the inside. But Steven does make contact with the wall on the outside. That's going to slow him up, but Antomix getting a better angle of exit out of the final corner is going to get the slipstream from Steven, unfortunately for us, and it's going to be a race to the line between those two. We're going to take third, and Antomix just with a nose hair gets first position. 0.02 of a second separates first and second. So here we go. This is the results after race 1. Antomix, Steven, myself, Dylan, Potsy, Smirnoff, Crizzy, Spawnblack, Rob, and being yeeted in the top 10. And this is what the points look like. Steven and Dylan both getting those extra 2 points for the pole position in qualifying and the fastest lap in race. Sets up for an interesting sprint race number 2 as Antomix, Steven, and myself start from the back and have to serve that drive-through penalty as we go to Blue Moon Infield B for sprint race number 2. Looking at the lineup then, obviously a reverse grid based on the results of the previous race. So you see Steven, Antomix, and myself near the back of the grid. One more addition to the race who missed the first race is Gamer Mode 100. He starts at the front, but he's going to peel off and let everybody past as not to make it unfair and mix up the points that way. Here we go then. Traction control on 1, switching it off just as we get going to get that best traction off of the line, which we do faster than Dylan over on the right. There you go, gamer mode just peeling off, filing in from the back as we start race number 2 then of the day. We are on the outside of turn number 1, still 5 turns as it's just the same track, but reverse coming into turn number 2 though. The sharp corner that caused a lot of problems in the first race, it's even more problems there for being yeeted. Bertman looks a little bit dazed as well. He was ghosted for a second, maybe a bit of contact for them. But we gained a position and then we've lost a position, so we're still sitting in 11th as we come through that right kink there, the fast corner, and into this very awkward sweeping right-hand corner. I have put my indicator on to try and signal to gamer mode there that I'm coming across and trying to get into the pits. I do have to lift off there so I don't collect him as I sweep across into the pits to make this drive-through penalty. Looks like Antomix did it as well. CSX Steven though, nowhere to be seen. We don't change our tyres, so we save a little bit more time, as changing tyres does cost you about 2 to 3 seconds, so you just have to be aware and not click that change tyre button. And now we have to work together to get back up onto that leading pack. Coming through turn number 2 though, Bertman is having an absolute nightmare as he's made an oopsie again on turn number 2. Now, here is the big brain moment from me and Antomix as we try to help each other to get up to the pack in front. If we were to fight each other and constantly overtake each other into each corner, we would lose time. So those little bump drafts and not going for those lunging moves keeps us going as fast as possible for as long as possible. Antomix there, realising he's making a couple of mistakes into turn 2, and it might be faster for me to then take that lead and for him to give me those couple of bump drafts. So up to 9th position, Spawn Black just running wide there, and we're going to go up the inside nice and easy into turn number 2, hitting the apex nicely with a nice momentous drive out of the corner. Here we go then, lap number 10. We are behind Shapaps Taps, looking up the inside, and there is going to be an incident, but nothing is going to come of it. We both hold it, we both hold our positions nicely. Not sure if that's because I put my nose in somewhere where it shouldn't be, or maybe he turned in not realizing I was there. Who knows? No harm done though, as we go a lap later around the outside of Shapaps Taps this time, learning from our mistakes, heavy on the brakes, giving him space on the inside just in case he did want to put his car there. But there we go. Coming on to lap number 13, the final lap of the race, as the counter strikes 0 and the final lap comes up on the screen. We are in 7th position, and Smirnoff in front of us, Shapaps Taps and Stephen sitting in the 2 positions behind. We do get a nice run out of the corner there. Smirnoff does graze the wall, which is going to slow him down. Looks like they're battling behind as well. He's going to move to the outside, not going to try and squeeze ourselves between him and the wall. That is a recipe for disaster. Looking to the inside, no, Smirnoff holds it. Can we go all the way around the outside final corner, carrying that momentum we can, getting on the power as early as possible, try not to put ourselves into the blue wall over on the left, and we managed to hold it all the way around the outside. Very close between Smirnoff and Shapaps Taps there as well, only a couple of hundredths in it, but that is going to be 6th place for us, and more importantly, we finish ahead of the people who finished ahead of us in the first race. So here we go. Here are the results: Crizzy, Dylan, Potsy, Gamer Mode, Rob, myself, Smirnoff, Shapaps Taps, Antomix and Stephen rounding out the top 10, and here is what it has done to that top 10 leaderboard for round 2. And here it is. So Dylan, Crizzy and Potsy all moved up with those race 2 points gained, and Antomix, Stephen, myself and Smirnoff have fallen down the board, but all still to play for, as Gamer Mode also sneaks into that top 10 as we go to the feature race. So obviously a 30-minute race with another qualifying to begin with. So here we go, the feature race for round 2. The feature race then around Blue Moon Infield A, the slightly longer layout, and there is your lineup. Antomix coming in with the fastest lap, so he sits on pole and gets that 2 extra points, which will be added on to wherever he finishes at the end of the race. Here we go then, we are starting in 7th position, starting with that traction control. Stephen, randomly, I think, if my memory serves me correctly, he started in 4th gear for some reason. Who knows why that happened, but we got to focus on with the race. Very close to Crizzy's backside there. We do have Potsy sneaking a look in up the inside there, and that lovely Dukes of Hazzard livery as well. He does have the inside for this kink. We do need to just back out and let him have that position. So keeping 7th place as we come into this fast right-hand corner as well. Maybe a little booty tap there from Bertman, but nothing doing as we do hold our position coming into this tight right-hand corner now as we come under the bridge into that braking zone and moving all the way around. Can we hold it around the outside of Potsy? No, he's actually going to go up the inside of Rob. Doesn't manage it though. Bertman up the inside of us though, but on the outside for this double apex corner, which leads up to this tight left-hand corner that we are all familiar with from the first race. We are just approaching it with a little bit more speed there. Could have gone 2x2 through there, but Bertman smartly just backs out and lets me go and files in behind and keeps that slipstream. If we had battled there, maybe we'd have lost time and lost that slipstream of Potsy in front. So good smart play from him and keeps us going on the right track as we head on to lap number 2 and coming through this middle section here, purple sectors, which is always a good thing. On lap number 2 we do see Rob running a little bit wide there. He does manage to regain control, but he is going to have dirty tyres coming into this right hand corner here as you see him on the left. Dirty tyres, maybe dips a foot onto the grass as well, gets a little bit slidey. I think I was a little bit distracted there because we do make a little bit of a contact with Potsy in front, but nothing doing. We managed to hold our positions. 2 laps later then, Potsy just dips that rear right tyre on the grass, nearly loses control of his car. Well done for keeping control of it and also for lifting off as I approached the apex of the corner. If he had continued and put his car on the apex going slower, there could have been an incident, so well done for being smart there. Jumping from lap 4 to lap 13 then, halfway through the feature race nearly. I do manage to catch up with Dylan, but then I make a mistake, put that rear left tyre on the grass coming into that fast right-hand corner, and that is going to ruin all of that work that I did myself, and really gives an invitation to Stephen behind, who has just been closing the gap between me and him over the last couple of laps. Managed to hold him off until the start of lap 16, but he just had much more consistent speed than me at this track. I just found myself really struggling to keep pace with the fast boys. Coming through this corner though, Stephen makes the exact same mistake as I did a couple of laps ago, and that's going to give us back that 5th position. So Stephen may be faster than me at this track, but that one mistake has cost him that 5th position as we come out around that last corner onto the start finish straight. Very close to the front. We are going to look at that in a second. Dylan takes 4th. We take 5th. Stephen in 6th. Looks like Potsy in 7th. Robin 8th. Bertman in 9th. Shapaps Taps rounding out the 10. There we go. Look at that. How close is 1st and 2nd? Once again, only 100th of a second separates the two VLX drivers. Gamer mode as well. Only 4/10 away from 2nd place. So let's see what the points gained in the feature race here has done to the round 2 leaderboard. And there we go. VLX McCrdeie on top, followed by VLX Atomic, CSX Dylan, Cliff, sorry for the typo, myself, Gamer Mode, Stephen, Potsy, Rob, Smirnoff, and Shapaps Taps rounds out the top 10 for round 2. And some big points gained at the top of the leaderboard there. What has it done to the overall points leaderboard? Here we go. McCrdeie has moved up 2 positions up into 1st with 154 points, which has relegated myself and Stephen down into 2nd and 3rd. The biggest gainer of the day, CSX Dylan Cliff, sorry again for the typo, up 4 positions into 4th on 93 points. Antomix and Gamer Mode, both new drivers in the championship, move into the top 10. Other things to note here as well, Smirnoff with that failure to finish the last race, really damaging his points tally there, moves down into 6th position. Also Dirty Coil with the no-show in round 2, moves him down to 10th position. Okay, that is round 2 done. Come back tomorrow for round 3. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing. Thank you to the channel members, and we'll see you in the next one.